Welcome to OTR, a friendly debate. We have a mini debate today. We had a friend of the pod who was making what was it? Threats, Mushi?
At least a challenge, not a
Okay.
threat.
I took
But it
him
was
as
going
called
well.
threats.
Mucci out. I called Mucci out to say how it is.
So let's introduce this person because he is eager to take Mucci on, on a particular debate that everyone likes some kind of pizza.
hmm
A deep dish versus thin crust is what we have. Is that right, Dan?
That's correct.
Could you please introduce yourself to everyone listening?
My name's Daniel. I'm a friend of the pod. Been listening to the pod since day one.
Oh, old
And,
time. Okay.
yes, sir. And I called Mucci out on it, and he said he was down, so I'm here to debate. Ready to go.
All right.
All right.
So, do we want to? Do you guys want to just call out? Let's do this instead of a coin, since you're not here. On the count of three, I want you to either say rock, paper, or scissors. Okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Scissors.
Paper.
Okay. It either sounded very delayed or you just didn't hear him. So Mucci wins.
Okay.
Mucci picks scissors. So he will go first in his brief opening statement.
All right. So, hey, we're all, from Chicago, around Chicago. Of course, we love deep dish pizza. And there's a reason why. I mean, there's a reason why people, go for it. The reasons why it's a tradition. Like tourists will go to Lou Malnati's, like one of the 8 million locations of it, or Pequod's, or our Pizzeria Uno, where it originated. In the 40s, it was a very like American heavy style of pizza, very Midwest heavy food, and you get more of everything with it. You get more sauce, more cheese, as as in Seinfeld, more anything, more everything. It's better because you get more.
Okay. All right. Well said. You ready, Dan?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's hear it.
Well, thin crust pizza is just better. When people think pizza, they think thin crust. They don't think deep dish. And I don't agree with the more is better. I think thin crust is a perfect ratio of sauce, cheese, and crunch, which makes it the best part of why it's so good. It's also way more accessible, more convenient. If I want to make a quick frozen pizza, I'm not gonna put a deep dish in Orlando. It takes an hour. Wow, and especially when you're hungry, you don't want to wait an hour. Put in a thin crust pizza in the oven, it's ready for 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
And to be honest, I don't know where it originated from. Don't care. Good.
Probably from Italy.
Okay.
But I want to.
Yeah, that's what.
Can I jump in
I
now,
think
or is
it's
it?
better.
So let me just So Mucci, your ideal deep dish pizza. What is it? What does it look like? What does it taste like? Describe it.
My favorite, is probably from Pizzeria Uno. Actually, the original. I mean, I like Pequod's fine, but I think I've always
These are
enjoyed.
both Chicago based.
Yes, yes. I mean, Uno is the original, and I think for a reason it still holds up. I like the buttery kind of crust to it, I like the thickness of it. I mean, he talks about crunchy. I really like the crunch of a deep dish pizza, cutting through it and the crunch and
Just the
the
edge,
sauce
like
is
the very end of it.
not the very end. The whole thing is like because it's thick, so it's a big crunch. So I probably like a Pizzeria Uno with like sausage or pepperoni or something, like some kind of.
Now, do they have Pizzeria Uno? Do they have the sausage just layered completely, or is it kind of dispersed like a thin crust?
I believe at Uno it's not like thin crust. Like the sort of typical deep dish is kind of like the crust on the bottom and then cheese and then. I mean I don't know exactly if sauce is on top of the toppings or if it's like how that exactly is layered.
It's really like
That's
4
the
or
top
5
kind of
layers
layer.
of cheese,
Yeah,
right? That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get like Giordano's and you got like cheese and then crust and then more cheese and more crust because it's like a stuffed crust pizza. But I like this somewhat lighter version of deep dish. That's just the cheese on the bottom, sauce on the top, and the topping wherever it might be.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Dan, what's your favorite type of thin crust pizza?
Well, that I've had from Jerry's. It's called Jerry's Pizza in Rockford. Shout out to Jerry's. I don't live in Chicago. I live close to Chicago, but and I like just pepperoni, jalapenos on my thin crust pizza. That's all I need.
Can you get jalapenos on deep dish? Does that usually come with it?
You
Probably.
can.
I think at Pequod's you probably can. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Pequod's.
But is it? I mean, would you really? I mean, on thin crust pizza, I know, you get jalapenos and you get peppers and you could.
You could definitely get peppers in a deep dish.
Supreme?
Yeah.
Is there a Supreme garbage pizza deep dish?
I think the Malnati classic, Lou Malnati's has at least some. I don't think it's just like sausage and. I think it has like other stuff in it, if I remember correctly. It may have peppers or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jerry's in Rockford, what do they do the best? Like, what is their?
It's the original pizza, man. So their version of the thin crust, and it's good, man.
Is it crispy, or is it kind of like?
It's the perfect ratio of sauce, cheese. Like I said, man, doesn't take an hour to cook.
Okay.
It's ready right away. It's accessible, man. Don't get me wrong. I like deep dish, Orlando, but you need a fork and knife for most part.
That's fair. Yeah.
Is this Jerry's place like a Little Caesars kind of thing? Are you driving up and just ordering one and they got it within 2 minutes? Is that what's going on?
It is. It's your old school pizza place. It's a restaurant. You can sit down and eat it there. You can take it to go.
So let me ask you: Is it like New York style, like slices, or is it like the tavern?
It's more of the Chicago thin crust style, where they cut it up in squares.
Right. Okay, tavern style.
Okay.
I do like that.
I do like that too. So basically, what I'm hearing is that both of you have already admitted that you like the other.
But I will
pizza.
say, with the tavern style, okay, the end pieces are far better than the mushy middle pieces that you get. You always get like a little mushy square.
I disagree.
Really?
Those are my favorite ones.
The mushy one in the middle.
Yeah.
I always feel like it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Like the edges are almost always good. I feel like the middle can sometimes be a little poor, in my opinion.
Okay. What do you think about middle pieces, Dan?
On what? Thin crust?
Yeah.
Everything's good on a thin crust, man. That's why it's so good. I don't gotta eat most of the thing to get to the best part. From the first bite, it's good.
Okay. All right. So, I guess from here, Mucci, give me something that's interesting or appealing about a deep dish pizza other than taste.
Other than taste. Very
if I
filling.
walk into if I walk into an establishment and there, I've got my heart set on deep dish, what is something that I would be like, this would be a great trivia question regarding deep dish pizza?
Well, I did find out that one of the inventors of deep dish pizza, allegedly, from Pizzeria Uno, was named Rick Ricardo, like the husband in I Love Lucy. So I thought that was funny. Yeah, the character made deep dish pizza.
Maybe they came up with a show based on that.
Could be, because I was like in the 40s. Yeah, I guess so.
There you go.
Yeah,
that would have been a good, interesting fact for you to have told us if that was
was true. I doubt it, but hey.
All right, Dan, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, other than the taste, there's many ways to make thin crust pizza. You got wood fire, coal fire, brick fire. You got all sorts, and in each region in America has their own style of thin crust. Chicago style, you have to come to Chicago. You have to. It's so inconvenient. You can't live in Florida and get deep dish. You got to fly. Get original deep dish.
I've had deep dish in Florida.
Ooh, Dan, you are treading. You need to tread lightly here. He's from Florida, and he's wearing a Tampa Bay Rays.
His ID said Clearwater, Florida. Why do you think I said it?
Oh,
we actually had some deep dish places in Clearwater, Florida, in that area. How does it match up? Certainly more rare, but it was good. It was like a very unique kind of, when I was in Florida, I had never had deep dish like in Chicago. I'd never been to Chicago before, and it was like a special occasion. It felt like special more than just like, I think thin crust pizza you can get wherever. Now I will say, you can get deep dish in Florida. Never seen that Chicago tavern style crust anywhere else. That I don't know if that. I mean, I guess it's in Rockford, but that's still Chicago area. I don't see that expanding out and getting the name recognition.
Right.
Deep dish.
Yeah, I mean, New York's got their own style.
They do.
You know, more California's, I think, more Neapolitan style.
Yeah.
You know, but nonetheless, it's all thin crust.
You know what? You kind of have a point here.
It's all thin crust.
Mucci, do you have anything in support for deep dish regarding its popularity throughout the U.S.?
It's popular because it's a unique thing. If someone, I mean, it's almost synonymous with Chicago style, even though there are a lot of Chicago styles, including the tavern style crust. But when someone says like a Chicago style pizza, they think deep dish, and a lot of people try it. Everyone knows what you mean by it, but a lot of places try it and they don't really get it quite right, like around the country. But everyone knows it. It is its own unique thing. Whereas, thin crust pizza is, you're right, it's everywhere, but that makes it less special, right?
Okay, so what we've got going on here is uniqueness compared to, convenience. I mean, I don't know, Dan, Jack's is kind of convenient. You go to any kind of grocery store, pick up a Jack's pizza, $2, pop that in, not even to the oven. You can put that in the microwave, I think. Get within a couple minutes. It's going to taste exactly the same.
In a microwave, you're a madman. Not to cut you off, but there's something wrong with you for cooking that in the microwave.
Okay, so any final thoughts on your side? Dan? I'll let Dan start. I'll let Dan start this time.
When we first, talked about doing this debate, and I will admit, I do like Chicago, so I was like, man, I need more reassurance. So I actually took a poll from coworkers, family members, friends, and believe it or not, thin crust won, 24-17. A lot closer than I thought it would be. A lot closer than I thought it would be. But nonetheless, more people seem to like thin crust more than Chicago style, and these are all people that live around the Chicago area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these are all people that you know?
Yes.
Okay. And you were present for this poll, right?
Of course.
Okay. And you are arguing for the side of thin crust pizza, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just trying to see where this poll was skewed to. Mucci, anything?
Well, I will say, based off of what Dan just said, he said he did a poll between people who liked thin crust or Chicago style. Again, deep dish is, even if you don't even mean it, it's synonymous with Chicago style pizza. I mean, it is what people think of when they think of a Chicago style pizza, and it is, it has that name recognition, it has that sort of cachet around the around the world. If you hear Chicago style, you think deep dish, even though it's not quite accurate. But the varieties of deep dish are really interesting too, because you have like the stuffed pizza, like a Giordano's, or you have the pan pizza, which is kind of thicker, which I think actually Pequod's is like pan pizza, not really deep dish, but it's like similar in that way. But you have these these local variants as well, and that keeps it interesting. And I just feel like you get more, you get fuller quicker, and you have a nice meal out of it rather than like feeling like you ate a whole pizza and you still are hungry.
I mean, if you eat a whole pizza, you're still hungry, bro.
There's something wrong.
That's all on you, man. That's all I can say.
I mean, if you eat a whole deep dish pizza and you're still hungry, that you're seriously.
You should probably check yourself into the hospital at that point. Yeah. All right, so I think I've made my decision here. I've heard the final thoughts. We've got uniqueness versus convenience. We've got fulfilling and stuffing yourself with a slice compared to a whole pizza, which that just might be, the dough and you just eating a lot of bread.
No, you get more everything. More everything.
So, but nonetheless.
You get a lot of cheese, okay?
You do get a lot of cheese. This is what swayed me. This is what pushed me over the limit, I think. The fact that around the world, I would think, anyone that comes to Chicago, what are they going to do? They're going to get deep dish pizza. And Dan, going into this, I mostly favor thin crust. I do. There's I've never heard of Jerry's, but there's Rosati's over there around that area.
Rosati's is good.
Rosati's is very good, and I do like the middle pieces. So if I ever get a pizza with Mucci, then he can have the ends, and I can just have the middle.
Works out.
But I'm gonna have to give this to Mucci, Dan. I'm sorry, man.
No apologies, dude. It's good.
All right, man. Good debating.
When you're in Chicago, we'll get a thin crust pizza and we'll get a deep dish and hash it out again.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good, guys. I'll let you guys go. I gotta head out.
All right, man. Have fun at your destination.
Later.
All right, see you, Dan. This has been OTR, a friendly debate.
A friendly mini debate.